Hey guys, it's CyberTech Gamer here. Today we're with bringing another devlog on Alone Oak, which is a game that I showcased like about a year ago. I've done a lot in the past couple of months, so I'm just gonna go and resize this window here so you can see everything. So this is the entire game project right now. I've organized stuff obviously, and also I added AI for crows. I've added crafting system. I think we didn't have that in the last video. There's a lot of stuff that I've added. I could go through everything that I've done and I could tell you, but I'll just like open up I'll actually run the game and show you guys what I have so far. But for now, I'll just like read out what I've done. So I've added sanity bars. So sanity pretty much is based, it can cause you to hallucinate. Which, you know, it's annoying. It doesn't really do anything, but it's just really annoying. Okay, so you can hear the music. It still exists, except you can't because my audio is wrong. Okay, so now you can hear the music, right? You can see the sun because apparently I'm way too high up in the sky right now, so you can actually see the sun right up here. I need to make it so it doesn't glow orange, but it glows white. Because right now the orange glow is a bit harsh, I think. You can see the sun right there. So the tree sprite has changed a bit. I made it a bit bigger, so it just looks more realistic as a tree. The other one looks a bit small. I also added this crafting, or this, not crafting, controls bar at the bottom, which you can toggle on and off. Just so you know what the controls are. There's inventory, which is the exact same. I have fixed a couple of bugs. So there was a bug where it wouldn't draw your inventory slot over here if you dragged an item in there. Now that's fixed, and there was a bug where it would like draw the number and the icon, and it would like have extras, I guess. I'm not sure how to describe it. I can probably boot up an old version of this and show you guys. This was an older build that I already had installed. So if you see here, this bug is still present, so you can see the numbers are glitching out on the side. It's overdrawing it, and then if you drag it over here, it won't draw over here. It won't draw the item. It draws it underneath the actual icon. So I fixed both of those bugs. Okay, I don't want to run debug mode. Yeah, I also added a lot of items to the game. So now there's herbs, there's herbal tea. I think crates are a new one that didn't exist back then. Let's run this normally. If this will load. I think I've added crates. I added feathers, stone scrapers, a lot of stuff. I added a lot of stuff to complement the crafting system. So if you look in here, this is a lot of the stuff that exists, but not everything. This is going to be replaced with hooded crates. So essentially, it'll act like a chest. It'll be able to store items. I've added herbs. You can see these are the herb sprites. They generate randomly along with stones. I added these birds that can land. They can land in the tree as well. There's actually been a lot of progress done. So now this bird can hop around. If you get close to it, it'll fly off. And if you shoot a bow at it, it'll also fly off. Because, you know, birds should fly off when there's a threat or something. Herb you can consume. It'll restore a bit of hunger and restore a bit of sanity. You lose sanity when you get hit by a mob or when you get struck by lightning, and that makes a bit of sense. I also am going to make it so if your hunger is below like 20 or something, you lose sanity. Because like you're sort of going insane by starving or whatever. Everything else here is pretty much the same. We have flint, we have other stuff. You can craft a lot of stuff. The tree auto shakes now because I thought coming over here and waiting and just clicking it constantly like over and over again would get really tedious. So instead I just made it so it automatically shakes and drops items every like I think 10 seconds. So there's an abundance of items now. So like waiting for acorns and twigs isn't gonna actually be as trivial. I still really like the birds. They look really nice. So just collect some herbs here. If you see, when I consume an herb, this is the hunger bar. When I consume it, the hunger bar will go up. If I lost sanity, my sanity would also go up. The red bar is my HP. And that, like, if you get hit by mobs and stuff, your sanity's, or your HP is gonna go down as well as your sanity. The rain is getting really loud. Let's turn this down. I still need to make these capital and fix the UI so it doesn't look so horrible. Not make it so like hard edged and just make it like nice lowercase stuff. Make it look clean and modern. I don't know. Some other tweaks that you may have noticed, may not have noticed, is the background no longer is mountains. It's just a plain sky. I might be adding clouds or something, but I feel like that's still a bit unnecessary, so I might just leave it as like a plain sky. It's not actually completely plain. If I show you the actual image here, it's a very light gradient from white to light blue. But yeah, that's a new thing. I'm gonna craft up a torch here. So you can craft this, it'll give you 3 scrapers, craft some biofuel, craft some twine, get a torch. If what? Oh, I need more biofuel. Here, a torch, and then I can get myself a lighter. Cool, I'll place on the torch. I'll do that, and then this is still the same from the last version. You can drag this torch around and you can move it with you, but now I can't click and re-add it to my inventory, so that type of dynamic lighting is off. Also, there's no more lighting around the player, so the only lighting you'll have is by torches or by fire pits. So fire pits you can craft, they're a lot more difficult to make. They're still not super hard, but like they require a lot more resources. The good thing about fire pits is that you can relight them. So torches, if they burn out, it becomes charcoal. You can't relight them. But fire pits, if they burn out, you can relight them with a flint lighter. And you can also use fire pits to light torches. And you can use, you can like add, I don't know what it's called. Make the fire pits last longer by adding charcoal to it, so it'll burn longer. I don't actually know what that's called, but yeah. So you can see the sun is setting now. I added this object just because I thought it would look cool. Although I still need to do a couple of tweaks because this looks a bit odd, I think. It's a bit out of place because the sun moves really crazily with the player. I might change it to be the average distance between the player and the middle of the room. Here's a zombie. As you can see, when I get hit now, there's a big red obnoxious indicator, so it shows that you've been damaged. Zombies don't do a lot of damage right now because it's day 1, but they're going to do a lot more later. Right now I can craft an undead a healing salve, so this pretty much heals up HP, and I think restores sanity. So if you look at the top right here, my HP is going down. My sanity is regenerating a little bit because I'm next to the tree, and that's the only way you can regenerate sanity is if you're next to the tree or if you consume herbs. But yeah, I'm gonna fix the sun probably. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna craft some biofuel. How much biofuel do I have? I can get a fire pit, and then I'll show you what this looks like. So with fire pits, you can craft things like acorn flour, softened acorn. You can cook birds. You can cook dead birds. So it's pretty useful for other things. You can't do that with the torch, obviously. I still need to fix some of these sprites. This looks sort of horrendous, but yeah. Also, if you notice, the sun is ever so slightly visible, like through the tree. There's a bit of an orange glow, but it's not too big of an issue. So, as you can see, the fire pit has more light than the torch. It won't burn out, or no, it will burn out, but like it'll take longer to burn out, and when it burns out you can relight it, whereas the torch is gonna drop charcoal. And yeah, it's pretty much better to have, but also is more resource heavy. A crate can be filled with water. Another thing that I made was so mobs spawn more frequently, because in testing, in normal testing, like the mobs didn't spawn frequently enough to where it was a challenge. But now, as you can see, my sanity, HP, and hunger is all really low, so I can like eat up some herbs that'll restore some sanity. I can continue eating them to restore my hunger, but then my HP has to slowly regenerate. Or I can craft a healing salve. I'll craft 2, and it'll regen my HP. So zombies aren't super tough. I am gonna add other mobs. I have currently in the game. I have wolves, and mutant crows. Mutant crows I think are pretty cool because they can dive you. So as you can see here, this torch burnt out, so it left the charcoal. I can pick that up. But yeah, but mutant crows are cool because they can dive at you and attack you, and it's a new combat mechanic that I haven't used yet in this game. Wolves are pretty much the same as zombies, and same with mutant wolves. I need to make the sun so it doesn't follow me around. Yeah, I think it probably will be best if I just make it average between the player and the center of the room. That'll be a bit smoother. Everything else works really well right now, I think. The game runs smoothly. I did a lot of optimization, so if these objects are not within frame, it will not, it won't update it. So let's say when this tree creates acorns and sticks, they won't drop until I'm here. They'll hit the ground when I'm around here. And birds won't jump around or update if they're not within frame. So it's just a lot of optimization things that I had to do because it was lagging really hard at one point. But now it should be a lot better. This stuff up here is mainly for debugging. I'm gonna have to make this a lot cleaner of a UI and make this look more like this, because this looks really nice, I think. But overall, I think the game is improving really quickly. It should be up for release by the end of the month if I take my time to finish it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be added soon as well. I'm gonna add not shelters, randomly spawning structures that contain hooded crates with objects in it, such as rare weapons or stuff. Weapons you can't craft, but they'll spawn in these structures and you can use them from the structure. Other than that, that's the only way you can get these weapons, and they'll increase your attack damage or whatever. Should be pretty cool. As you can see, the days are also longer, so even though I shortened it from 90 days to 20 days, it's still going to take a relatively long time and still have a relatively high sort of skill ceiling to complete. So I'll just go over some of the crafting things. So there's a bug here, the hunger bug. If I overeat by a bit, it'll set it to 0, but then if I eat again, it'll set it back to 100. Yeah. As you can tell, more mobs are spawning and etc. Is this the second day? I feel like it's been the second day. Also, there are storms. I'm not sure if that was in the other update, in the earlier one last year. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm not sure if storms were a thing, but now they are. So I'm just gonna drop this charcoal. Don't think it lights properly yet, so I'll have to fix that. But there is lightning strikes. Lightning strikes, like I said, do a lot of damage and they reduce sanity. Let me just go through some of the other things that I've added. So there was a volume. Okay, zombie. There was a volume bar bug where if I clicked here, it would bring my scroller, I guess, to that position, but it wouldn't change the volume. Now it's fixed, so now wherever I click is the percentage of the volume, and then I can drag it as well. And as you can probably hear, the volume is changing with it. So I fixed that bug. There was also a crafting bug where certain items, if I crafted it, it would use up all the resources in my inventory. So let's say I wanted to craft like 1 twine, but I had like 5 stone scrapers, and like 20 twigs. It'll use all of those, and it'll craft me like 10 twine or something. So I fixed that as well. Let me go through and look at other stuff that I've done. I fixed some lag. Like I said, I've added random spawning vegetation, and that's pretty much it. I have a lot of things planned though. I have mobs, mutants, are going to be one thing that are going to be added. Mutant wolves. I'm also going to be added angered bears, because bears can get angry. Nights are a lot longer than days still, and that's just because like a lot of things happen in the night. So a lightning strike was right there. You might have seen it. You might not have. I can craft some healing cell. Bam. Cool. So there are still a lot of excess resources like bees, which I can like go make some rope. Oh wait, I have a lot of stone scrapers. I don't need that many. Bam. So I'm gonna drop the crate here. So the crate can fill up with water, and it fills up like by each raindrop hitting it. So I think it's really cool that I did it instead of on a timer. I did it like where it actually, a raindrop physically has to hit it, because then it sort of makes a lot more sense. As you can see, birds here can land in trees, and more zombies are spawning. This is the second day, and I've already killed like, I think, 10 zombies. So the skill cap is increased. Softened acorns are a thing. So I need to make acorns do a lot more than what they do right now, which is currently pretty much nothing. They're used to craft biofuel, and they can craft acorn bread. But other than that, it's really trivial for acorns right now. They're just a huge stack. Another thing I did for optimization, I'll show you guys, is there's 110 acorns in my inventory, right? If I drag them out, it only creates one item. It's a stack of acorns, but it only draws one sprite, and it only creates one object. Because there was problems with lag where I would have like 100 acorns in my inventory. So I'll click this. I have 110 added acorns to my inventory. It would lag out really hard. Now I've made it so it doesn't lag quite as much. It should be better now. Right, so it creates one object instead of creating 117. Same with twigs. It creates one object instead of 92, etc, etc. Just to fix some optimization issues. So yeah, it's mainly been optimization and bug fixes. And there's also been a lot of features added, but like, it's still pretty much the same game. I'm also not sure if this existed in the last run, or in the last update, which was, like I said, a year ago, but if you look at this tree, there's these small black lines that represent the days you've been alive. So I probably am going to remove this and make you only rely on that. Your body temperature can probably be like a small bar up here. I'm going to fix all this UI, fix a lot of stuff. Ambient temperature I don't think I'm going to need, although I could have like body temperature and ambient temperature be a debugging feature, so it can like show here or something. These revive packs are going to be gone because they're not useful anymore. Like I said, I'm going to replace this with hooded crates. That's pretty much it. This stuff is not useful at all. So this is the seed. This is the lowest block for birds to spawn, and I only added those just so I could like debug. But since it works, I'm probably going to get rid of it. It should be daytime now. It should be slowly turning daytime, and the sun isn't down, so that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? So I need to make it so the sun actually goes to the bottom of the world and doesn't follow you around everywhere. Cool. You can see the birds hop around, they have proper collisions, everything works pretty well. That's pretty much all that we've gotten so far. Just gonna craft a bow. I can't. Spam. I'm gonna craft some twine. Craft a bow. Craft a bunch of arrows. So you can see right here the fire pit burnt out, but it's not charcoal. You can still relight it, so I can get myself a stone lighter or a flint lighter and it'll relight the fireplace. Let's go kill this zombie. Cool. Craft a bunch of arrows. If you want to see, I can kill these birds. They drop feathers and dead bird meat. Feathers are used to craft sharp arrows, and dead bird meat is used to well, it's a food source, so you can cook it or you can eat it raw. I'm gonna make it so when you eat it raw, you lose sanity. So if you watch this, I'm gonna shoot above them and they're gonna fly off, right? Not that one, because that one died. I just made the same AI as if it would fly off when I got close to it. It would fly off when an arrow got close to it. Just because, like, if that makes sense. Like, if you're gonna shoot at a bird, the birds around it are gonna fly off, and like it's just gonna get spooked. So you can see there was a lightning strike right there. I might want to change that graphic a bit, fix it up, but right now it should be fine. The days are taking awfully long. This sun needs to somehow be constantly bright. Ooh, no, maybe I can give it some light as well. Make it have a light object. Like an object sunlight. That's pretty much it. So feel free to add any suggestions you have for the game right now. It's very close to completion, but like I feel like there's still a lot of stuff we can do. Obviously, I'll show you the code and stuff, I guess. So I'll go through most things. So this is all the objects that we have. That's the player. That's a tree. These are all the objects that we have. Item stack is what I made, so it wouldn't create 100 items. It would just create a stack of items, and they would just draw one object. This is the feather. I'm gonna put this up. Charcoal, herbs, undead essence, undead heart, which is now not undead heart. It's healing salve, but I didn't want to change all the names and all the scripts, so I kept it as that. Etc. etc. We have all these normal items. We have shelters. I had them in the game, but I don't think I'm going to use them again because they don't really have any point other than maybe regenerating your body temperature and regaining sanity. That's about it. Everything else is the same. Block types, we have our blocks here. It's all the same. Zombies, or not mobs, not zombies, mobs. So I'll just go through and show you all the mobs that we have planned. So we have a zombie, which you've seen, the zombie boss, which is essentially like a boss that spawns after I think the 15th day or something. It'll be huge and it'll be super tanky. There's gonna be a bear. These all have the same sprites right now because because I haven't drawn the sprites for it yet, except for like the first sprite for the bear. But I need to animate and draw all these sprites and I can add it. There's going to be a boss that's called Self. It's pretty much going to be, you're going to be going against yourself. It's going to be the last boss. Wolf, mutant wolf. Mutant wolf sprite is a bit different than the wolf sprite. There's the crow, there's the mutant crow, there's the mutant bird boss. This is going to have more of a vulture look, whereas the other ones were more of a crow. Crow spawner spawns the crows, and the spawners just spawn the other mobs. Hallucinations. So I'll show you the sprite for hallucinations. These are the sprites. They have normal animation sequences where they're dark and they glow red, and essentially when they hit you, your screen flashes white for a bit and they disappear. So it should be sort of spooky, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a thing. This is all the UI, so there's the sliders, there's the play button, menu button, vertical like slider bars, etc. We have the control, the object and controls. This is what we saw at the bottom, question mark and the down arrow. It shows all the controls in the game. This is all the weather objects. And yeah, there's some stuff that isn't needed in the game, so I can probably remove it at some point. But everything works for now. So this is all the scripts that I use for a lot of the items. Birds have their own states because I got too lazy to, do stuff. So I wrote all these very short code for the birds and their AI. And these are player states. This is all the inventory and crafting stuff. So if you look at my inventory, there's just a lot of code. Like a lot. It's all repetition because I have to do this for every object that I make, but it's like that's a lot. That's pretty much it. I'm thinking of changing up the create world code a little bit just so the terrain is more flat. Because right now it's a bit hilly and it's sort of weird. Other than that, everything is essentially the same. I'll show you, what do I have? It's items. I will show you the bear sprite. So this is what we're gonna have for the bear, but I haven't animated it yet. That's all we have so far for the bear. I need to animate this. I need to add a standing upright one for the bear boss and for the mutant bear, and they're gonna look a lot spookier than this one. These are the mutant ones. As you can see, we have the mutant wolf and the mutant crow. So mutant crows look a bit different than normal crows. If you look, they're bigger, they have red eyes, versus a normal crow, which is here. You can see they're much smaller, they have white eyes. Not too noticeable. The wolves as well just have red eyes. And they have like blood dripping from their things and stuff. But once again, not too much noticeable. So that's pretty much all we've added so far. There was a lot of stuff done, I think, but I feel like there could still be, like, we've got a long way to go, but we've also done a lot, or I've done a lot. My friends have been bug testing for me, but I've done a lot recently, and yeah, that's pretty much what we've got. So that was it, and this devlog is going to come with an announcement, so pretty much I'm going to be doing these devlogs on a different channel now, on WiredTHD. A lot of you guys probably are subscribed to it. I'm only doing it there just so like most of my content is cohesive and it's on one channel, so I don't like spread everything out and get all confused as to where to put what. Also, we might be doing some streams and stuff when we develop. So if you guys subscribe, you guys can like go wait for those. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys find this game interesting and are like willing to test it or something. If you have any ideas for it, leave it in the comments below. Also, go check out WiredTHD. The link will be in the description. You guys can subscribe, watch some of our other videos. We have other stuff. It's mainly tech stuff, not much game development. But I'm going to be combining those elements into WiredTHD as well. And then there's also Wired Gaming, which is where Cybertech Gamers gaming videos are gonna go, as well as some of my other friends' gaming videos. So everything's gonna be combined into sort of that sort of, I don't know, channel name, Wired, right? So yeah, thank you guys all for watching. I hope this was interesting. If it's not, go ahead and like dislike a video or something. Anyways, have a nice day. See ya.